Commission meeting for April 15, 2014. We'll start on time. If everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll stay standing for a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Here. Here.
Here. Here.
Here. All commissioners are present. Number 3, declaration of conflict of interest. Okay, move on to the minutes for April the 1st, 2014.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes, April 1st, 2000.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Motion passes. All commissioners. Number 6, subordination requests approval for Ronald and Jacqueline Reed at 3848 Orchard Drive.
Commissioners, this is for a subordination request for Ronald and Jacqueline Reed. And they are both here today.
Great.
And theirs is just lowering their interest rate with less payments.
Yeah, they're going from a 30-year term to a 15-year term, looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And about a third of a point less in interest. Looks
Yeah, they cut their mortgage
cut
in
it
half.
in half.
Awesome. Good for you.
I mean, the payments from, like you said, 30 years to,
Yeah, they're paying more per month, but they shorten the term in half, so
Yes.
that's excellent. Plus, they got a much lower rate, so.
And the loan that they have with us as well, their installment portion they paid off, so they only have their deferred portion that is just with the city.
Okay. I don't have any questions.
Commissioners, if it helps, Ron is also an excellent softball player.
Way to go, Ronald.
Thanks, Bill.
If that goes into your decision-making.
Madam President,
Well, we want to ask you where you learned. Yes, Commissioner.
I'd like to make a motion to pass the subordination request approval for Ronald and Jacqueline Reed.
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call, please. Yes.
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 Yes. Motion passes. All
Thank you.
commissioners-
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yes.
Great job.
Thanks, Bill.
Number 7, homebound conditional forgivable loan.
Take care.
Approval for 5 applicants. Is everyone present?
Yes, they are all here today. Everybody for homebound want to come up front? And Stephen and Zila Cerna, they're receiving $3,500. Stephen is East Chicago police officer, so he's receiving the $3,500.
All right. We have, they're from Calumet City.
Mm-hmm.
City.
Welcome to Hammond.
So, may I ask, how did you hear about the program?
We actually heard about this program from our realtor. And then even Quicken Loans, which is the mortgage company we're going with, it was advertised with the home, and they kind of told us to get in contact with Jennifer, and that's when we heard about it.
Who's your realtor?
My realtor is Debbie. She's actually out of Crown Point.
Okay, Debbie McCauley, Crown Point.
Yeah, it's Source One is the
Oh,
real estate.
okay, now I know who you're talking about. Okay, I know who you're talking about. Okay, Mr. Dix,
Yes,
how are you?
Hi.
How did you hear about our program?
through our counselor, Chico Hanos.
Oh, okay, cool. Who else? Albina, is that how you pronounce it? Albina? How
Ani-
are you? Good. How did you hear about the program? I'm sorry?
Realtor.
Realtor? Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
Realtors are passing the word around, aren't they? They're doing their job. Who's the Cubs fan?
Me, I work for the school city of Hammond, so
You work, oh, excuse me?
for the school city of Hammond.
Oh, okay.
So I found out through my job.
There you go. Awesome. Any more discussions, questions, Commissioner?
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the homebound conditional forgivable loan approval for the 5 applicants.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Motion passes. All commissioners present. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Commissioner.
Welcome to Hammond.
Welcome to Hammond, those of you that don't live in Hammond. Okay. Number 8, conditional approval for the sale of NSP properties and related affordability assistance allowance.
Madam President, Commissioners, in front of you, you have the request of NSP staff for the approval of Gustavo Garcia Jr. Unfortunately, he is unable to make it here tonight, but we had discussed, he's got a work schedule that allows him to attend, or he has to work every Monday and every other Monday and Tuesday. So he will be here for the next meeting. But there's an urgency, if you will, on our part to close this loan as soon as we can. So he's ready to go with the exception of our approval of the sale and the affordability assistance funding. He should probably be ready to close within 10 days. So I'm seeking approval for him and with the promise that he'll be here at the first meeting in May.
It's nice when they come back to,
And we understand about work schedules.
absolutely. And you know, even a letter to the commission, if that would be appreciated also. Yeah, just to let us know. So,
I'd like to make a motion, Madam President, for the conditional approval for this, oops, am I at the right place? Yes, I am. Conditional approval for sale of NSP properties and related affordability assistance allowance for Gustavo Garcia Jr. From 7339 Howard Avenue.
Second.
thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes. All commissioners present.
Thank you very much, and I'll give you 3 weeks to prepare some good questions for Mr. Garcia when he comes in.
All right. Let's give him our congratulations. Okay, number 9, determination of compliance regarding Kennedy Avenue pedestrian trail at 2804 Carlson Drive in the Gateways Redevelopment Area. Hello, Brian.
Good evening.
It's been so long.
Yes, yeah, well, it's been really long, Jimmy. Representatives from the Little Calumet River Basin Development Commission could not be here tonight. So that puts me in the situation of acting as presenter of the project as well as a reviewer of the project. And as long as there's no objections to that conflict of interest, I will proceed. Okay.
I'm good.
All right. The Little Calumet River Basin Development Commission is seeking to complete a bike trail connection along the Kennedy Avenue area. This is in the what we now call the Oxbow area. The levee has been completed up to Kennedy Avenue. We've gotten the properties out of the floodplain in that area. The trail is located on top of the levee. The connection that is made from the levee structure to the traffic intersection has not been completed, and that is what this project is involving. The desire to do this has been a long-standing request from the Army Corps. Back in about, I don't know, about 8-10 years ago, the property was previously owned by a group called Oak Brook Metro. And when they were doing some re-subdivision on the property, they anticipated the eventual construction of this bike trail connection. So on their subdivision plat, there was an access easement that was created on that western end. When the city acquired the property, and we re-subdivided it for the Oxbow development, that access easement was maintained in the new re-subdivision. So as the Army Corps has completed its project and moved on, they did not complete the actual construction of this segment. So that has fallen under the responsibility of the Little Calumet River Basin Development Commission. And so they are proceeding with the long designed plans of doing that. And they wish to complete it by May because they have, there's a river festival that they are hosting, and they want that completed in time for the festival. So that's the presentation part. As far as the review part, as I said, this was a long-standing, anticipated project. Language to accommodate this project was put in the redevelopment plan for the Gateways area. There's various provisions that are in my report that talks about why it's compliant with the plan. The property specifically is located in the East Gateway sub-area. And again, in that section in the plan, there is also a reference to Little Calumet River Corridor recreational and open space considerations. So all that was being anticipated. As I described before, the subdivision anticipated this construction. So the recommendation is that clearly the intent was in the plan to complete this project, and kind of one of those, it's like very easy to make this recommendation that the Redevelopment Commission does determine that the Kennedy Avenue pedestrian trail connection is in compliance with the Gateways Redevelopment Area Plan. And the other thing to note is that you are technically owner of the property, and so that you, as owners, also support the completion of this project within the platted easement area.
Ryan, when this is completed, will this link, where they're building like on 165th, and I think, what is that one, that street that runs at the angle?
Southeastern.
Southeast. Will that all connect once this is completed?
I don't think entirely that connection is there, because there's some aspects of where the levee is constructed along the river between Kennedy and Indianapolis that I'm not 100% positive on. As I start to think about it, I think when the trail comes across Kennedy Avenue and then goes around the hotel development, it does divert into Highlandmore and then comes back up into the Indianapolis Boulevard area. So there is a connection there. I just don't know if it's all completed or not.
Okay. Now, I'm just saying, once it's all completed, will it all?
Well, okay, and if this east-west segment gets you to Indianapolis Boulevard, it's the crossing of Indianapolis Boulevard that I don't think is completed, because then on the west side of Indianapolis Boulevard, there's the trail that goes along the Cabela's property, up on the west side around Northcott Avenue, and then back underneath the Borman Expressway, which eventually gets you to the Erie-Lackawanna Trail, which is then your bridge at Southeastern.
Okay. I think I got it.
I'm trying to picture it in a map as I'm describing it.
What I'm trying to do myself, trying to picture that.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that the intent is for it all to be connected. I don't have firsthand knowledge to know that every physical connection has been completed or not.
Okay.
Well, there is a bridge over the Little Cal right there now where they're working. I think on the bottom of the bridge is where this work is being done,
Exactly.
where they're gonna make a, pavement to like Kennedy Avenue.
Right, and that's literally what they're connecting, the bridge to the street sidewalk.
Exactly. I kind of saw it today. I just happened to be
I need a
that way.
picture. Yeah, I need
Did you bring a picture, Brian?
No, but you can just look at the wonderful plans that are there.
Field trip.
A field trip?
Field trip.
Field trip.
I can confirm to Ryan, if you can hear me, I can confirm that the trail is intact all the way from Wicker Park, all the way up to Wolf Lake.
Okay.
It's completely under the Borman. It goes across the Little Cal and straight on up.
Okay, all right.
It's a great running path.
I got you. Can you see it now, Commissioner?
Yeah, so
kind of, sort of.
If you know where the bridge is,
Yeah, oh, I know it very well.
you know where the bridge, at the Oxbow Landing property, where the bridge is now, people use the bridge, but when they get to our side of the bridge, right now, it's just dirt. So they're just coming down a hill. It's not very, good for biking and whatnot. So this is gonna make it a lot better, and also it gets us a step closer to finishing all the connection through the entire city. Probably not there yet, but closer.
And the access road we're gonna uncover, where we covered, that's what we gotta uncover that, right?
Well, the access road's across the street, so it won't be for walking or biking, anything of that nature.
For the delivery trucks?
Correct, that's all. There is a path along the Oxbow River that was done as part of the Oxbow Landing project a couple of years back. But again, it stops as you hit 179th, so there's nowhere to go at this point. But again, every time you have a project like this, you get a little closer to completing the connections.
That road, the access road by Deportment, who does that belong to?
It belongs to NDOT, but we have an easement for it. Is that correct, Brian? I don't want to speak out of...
I'm not sure if it's technically in the form of the easement, but we do have a right to, I think, reconstruct it and then use it. I think the actual document might be in question.
I'm asking just who I could ask to fill the hole.
Which road are you talking about?
That road there goes by Oxbow Landing.
But the Carlson Drive, are you talking about the new Carlson Drive, or are you talking about 177th Street? That is the east-west segment right by the park entrance.
No, I'm talking about the one that goes to Klein, goes all the way out to Klein.
Okay, yeah.
Service road.
Well, that's 177th, and then it changes to 179. Those are city streets.
Those are city streets.
Yeah.
Well, it's not 177th, it's Carlson Drive.
I thought it
Say it again?
Carlson Drive, because we constructed the new road.
Right, but once Carson Drive connects with 177th, and then eventually when it goes eastward, it becomes 179th, that's segment right there, which is just the north side of the park, that's ours, and that is in bad condition, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
all city streets.
Those are city streets. Carlson Drive, and I think that's your point. Carlson Drive is a city street too.
Thank you very much. Any more questions, commissioners? Any directions, commissioner? Bill, you got any directions?
Oh, we're looking for a motion to determination of compliance regarding the Kennedy Avenue pedestrian trail at the address listed in the Gateways redevelopment area.
And it's the last paragraph of my report.
Madam President?
Yes, Commissioner.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion, the determination compliance regarding the Kennedy Avenue pedestrian trail at 2804 Carlson Drive in the Gateways redevelopment area. Determine that the Kennedy Avenue pedestrian trail connection is in compliance with the Gateways redevelopment area plan, and as owner of the parcel supports the completion of the project within the platted easement area.
Thank you.
Second that.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes. All commissioners are present. Thank you very much, Brian. Okay, number 10, approval of job creation and business expansion loan for the Gamers Den.
Commissioners, as you know, we have the Business Expansion Job Creation Loan Program. In the history, I think we've already approved 4 loans in the past. The last one was Digital Registry, which was maybe a few months ago. We are now ready for the next one. We have Michael Stern here, who brought forward a project called the Gamers Den. Obviously, although we review the application, the main goal is to submit his business plan to our paid consultant, who is Professor Pat Obey from Purdue Calumet. He reviews the plan based on a risk factor, and based on that, Professor Obey approved Michael Stern's plan. Therefore, we have him here today to talk to you a little bit about his project and potentially look for a motion to approve. So, Michael.
Thank you, Mr. Talian. My name is Michael Stern. I'm a Hammond resident of all of my life. I bring to you guys a business plan of a new venue for children of all ages, gamers of all types, to be able to go to have fun in a safe environment, something that hasn't really been brought to this area, something that's always lacked, and I've always felt that needed to be around here. It is a business based around video games, something you can have in your home, but that doesn't really bring anything to the city. What it does is this venue will bring it out. It'll allow kids to go somewhere after school to spend an hour or two before going back home and doing homework, or after doing homework and getting out of the house for a few hours without having to be on the streets, without having to go to the movies, without having to spend a large amounts of money out of their parents' pockets, out of their pockets, out of whoever is taking care of them. It brings gamers together also out of mom and dad's basement, as it is a norm that most kids are stuck at home in their rooms playing their video games. On Sunday afternoon when dad wants to watch the football game, the kid's kind of left out of the loop. I know I was never a big sports fan. I know that you guys keep talking about baseball and softball, and I'm just not that big of a sports guy. I was always into video games. I always enjoyed playing it with my brothers and sisters, and I always enjoyed playing it with friends. But being from Hammond, my family didn't have a lot of money, so we didn't have a lot of room in the house that we had to be able to play these video games. So I felt that after being in the military and actually noticing a place similar to this, it's called the USO. It's very similar for the soldiers. And what it is, it's a place for us to go and relax, to be able to unwind, to go and play video games, to call home, to play on computers, to just check emails and such. And I figured bringing this to the civilian side would be a very good possibility that it could work. After doing some research, I found there's other businesses similar to this actually here in Indiana. One is down in Terre Haute called eBash. Another one is in Chesterton, but it's a bit smaller and a little bit different. I'm not sure on what the name of that one is. There's a few in Chicago. I mean, there's similar things to this like Dave & Buster's, but I'm not talking about bringing arcade systems. I'm talking about bringing game systems from Atari, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, all those older game systems, all the way up to the newest game systems, the PS4, the Xbox 360, the Xbox One, to where kids can go and play them without having to spend all of the money for these game systems in their home, on big screen TVs, on internet that's fast enough for them to be able to play without having the problems with home internet like lag and disconnects and such. Along with that, there will be computers there for them to play on that'll be top-of-the-line computers with dual monitors. It'll have all the games accessible through a server that they'll be able to access. Hundreds of games at this point is logged on there already. That they'll be able to access any of these games from any of the consoles or the computer systems that they have in front of them. Along with that, there will be tabletop gamings and concessions that they'll be able to purchase, and tabletop gamings meaning card games like Magic the Gathering or paper games like Dungeons and Dragons that a lot of people enjoy. But again, at home, you have to worry about having the space, having the food there, having to be able to accommodate all these people. And in my experience, it's easier just to go somewhere else to play these games, to be able to have the fun without having to carry all of the systems and all the games and all the controllers with you, and then hoping that the place that you go has the right internet or has the right accommodations for you and however many friends you want to bring along. It also gives a place for them to have tournaments, to have a chance to meet other people of the like minds, basically. A lot of us gamers, we don't have a lot of outside contact from other than a headset. But as I grew older, I went to college and found a lot of friends and buddies that played video games. But again, they didn't want to leave their home because that's where they were comfortable, because they had their own space, they had their own availability and accessibility. This place will give them the out, the place that they can go, the place that they can get out of their parents' house to be able to get away from, the norm of the little TVs in their dorm rooms even here at Purdue Cal. And that's basically it. There's more smaller details, but that's the overview of the business at this point.
So is it going to be located at Purdue Cal?
No, it's going to be located near Purdue Cal. Right now, the place that I'm looking at, the building I'm looking at is right there in the plaza across the street from Morton High School. with the Saves a Lot and Army surplus, or Army, the Salvation Army. Yeah, it's right there, actually. Salvation Army is the facing spot. If you go all the way to the back corner of that, there's a small courtyard. It's right back in there.
That's where that, dance place is, belongs, the bar, and you may not remember.
Cassidy.
Cassidy's.
Yes,
Oh.
thank you. Of course, thank you.
Brian, you did,
Thank you.
your name's Brian, right? You said-
Michael.
Oh, excuse me. You did answer two questions. There's not gonna be any arcade games then, right?
No, negative. There's no arcade games, no pinball machines or anything like that. It's strictly going to be TV, console game systems, computers, and tabletop gaming.
And you're gonna have like food, you were talking
Con-
about?
concessions, small things, chips, pop, candy, stuff like that. They can purchase, like if they wanted to get a pizza to bring in, there will be tables at the tabletop gaming kind of thing that they can actually, there will be a food section that they can bring it from outside, but it has to stay in the food section area.
And the fees for these games, I mean? would it
It'll be an hourly.
yearly, Hourly?
It'll be an hourly thing, or they can buy a day pass. The hourly rate at this point is put at $5. The day pass will be $35, and that would be, the day pass would be good for 12 hours on the day of purchase, and the time that they spend there is up to them. If they pay for $5 for an hour, they can come in, test as many games as they want. They can switch it as many times as they want within that hour. But once that time is up, their time is up. So they can spend 4 hours playing hundreds of video games on, 10 or 12 different systems if they wanted to, because they'll all be all the systems will be set up for almost all the TVs that they can just move from one to the other.
Is there an age requirement?
There will be certain things that they actually have to have the parent sign, because there's what they call M-rated video games that can only be purchased and played by someone 17 or older or with a parental consent. So the parent will have to come in if the child is younger than 17, so 16 and lower, they will have to come in and sign that they can play the M-rated video games and they are allowed to be around them and such. Lower than 13, they will actually have to keep a parent present because it's not a daycare, it's not somewhere that we're gonna, or at least someone that's of the age of 18 that will take responsibility for them.
I
What are
was
the
gonna,
hours? What are the hours?
The hours right now,
Operation would be.
they're a little complicated, but right now it's basically gonna be 10 to 10, Monday through Thursday. Friday it will be 10 to 12 at night, 10 to midnight. And then Saturday will be 9 to midnight, Sunday be 9 to 9.
I was wondering what the number is for the capacity of,
Of that building, they said about 200 is at most, depending on how much stuff I bring in.
and then the other question I had is what type of supervision do you intend on having on the premises?
I
In
will
view
at
of the
least-
fact that there's going to be such an age span in children and adults, and is there any
Correct.
kind of security?
There will be cameras in place. There will also be at least 2 people on staff at all times, and they will have the capacity to be able to move throughout the building. The building is actually pretty wide open. There's not going to be very many walls blocking everything for both security reasons and for reasons on my side of the security too, so that people aren't putting a game in their pocket or putting a controller in their pocket and walking out the back door. So everything's going to be very wide open and easy to see. There's not going to be anything really obstructing any view from one thing to the next. But I'm going to actually have one specific employee at all times doing a walk around throughout the building. They're going to be there for helping out, changing games, checking on people, letting them know how long they have still, timelines, time limits, that kind of thing.
I remember a while back, there was a sector, police officer sector, I think it was Sector 7 or something, that was right there, right in that spot. There's 2 or 3 spots there where you're talking about. Is that still there?
The police place, that's actually the building that I'm talking
That's
about.
the building.
The one at the very, very far corner, yes.
And will you have police security?
No,
No.
no. At this point, we don't have that verified or checked with. I have been talking with a few of the security companies like ISM Security and such to talk with them about getting someone in there. So I have actually started talking with them, but I'm not sure if that's going to be within the budget, at least for the first few months. So I didn't want to, put it out there, but I do hope to have some kind of actual security guard there. But most of the employees I've actually looked into hiring have had security backgrounds. Like I myself am military, and I also worked for ISM for a few years. A couple of the other people are also military and also have worked for various security businesses before.
Personally, I mean, I don't have any small children, but personally, I'd feel more comfortable with security, you know.
Oh, of course.
Because when you got the age, you know, you got the 19, 18-year-old, and you got the 10, 11-year-old.
13-year-olds, 12.
That would be a concern for me.
But see, again, that's why the parent has to be there from the ages of 13 and younger. The parent is supposed to be with the child at all times.
And how can you enforce that?
Again, that's where they have to come in and sign. If the child comes in, they have to present me with an ID saying that they are older than 13. Usually a school ID from high school would be sufficient enough, but if they can't provide that, and if they show me something from, say, Gavitt, that can't really tell me, they'll also bring in report cards and such like that, because there'll be promotions for good report cards. So there are,
Stays there.
oh yes.
You know, it sounds good to me. My only worry is, like Commissioner Lambert, I know that in other instances where we have a certain number of people congregating in a space, there's a numerical, you know, after a certain number, there's a requirement for a police person to be there, a security person to be there aside from other people. So that's just my thought on it.
Right, and as of right now, like I said, as of right now, I'm only can guess at how many people will actually show up at a day. And the reason I keep it at, say, 150 to 200 people is just because that's how many seats I will have. That's if every single seat was filled, everybody was of age, kind of a thing. If we start reaching the max, then yes, I would definitely be enforcing more, getting a law enforcement officer of some sort in there, because at that point, then I'm doing well.
Yeah, and in the area, there are a couple of apartment complexes.
Right.
And there's a lot of young people there, so I don't think you'll have a problem with getting them to come in. And I don't believe that would be one of your problems.
Yeah, I just don't want it to turn into like a loitering place, you know, where, you know, if they're gonna come there, they should, I don't know if you're gonna offer like maybe a membership too, maybe.
Correct, yes, there will be a membership card that they can, it'll be sort of like the Speedy Rewards card where it's actually free for them to actually take. That way we can also store some of their information on it, along with, say, hours unused. Like with the day pass, it's only for that day, or whenever they use it, the day that they use it, that's all it's good for. But say they buy an hour, but only use half an hour of it because an emergency comes up, because their ride showed up or something a little bit early, then it would be stored on that card also, that they have the extra half an hour left. So yeah, we will have those kind of a card membership kind of a thing that will kind of keep us in line. That's also where when they sign in, when they first come in, when the parent signs with them, then we can put on that card information that they are allowed to use the M-rated video games. They are between 14 and 17 or older, that kind of a thing. That way, if something does break, and it's because one of them, with what we call gamer rage, you know, all of a sudden a kid gets angry with the video game and throws the controller on the ground, then we know who's liable for it. And we can't necessarily go for someone that's under 18, but we can then talk to the parent, because they would sign the waiver that they are responsible for anything that child has broken.
Do you have any direction for the commissioners in regards to this?
It's really just going to be a preference. Just a preference.
Yeah, I mean, I could speak to the commissioners. Obviously, when Michael first came in and we were listening about the potential project, I think there was a little bit of pessimism as well. And as we saw his business plan, how well done it was, how Professor Obie gave it his approval, and also, Mike having a military background that he does and being a Hammond resident for his whole life, he really was meeting the hurdles that we were looking at in the beginning. And also the fact that this business is out there already. It's in Chicago. It's in some of the other communities that he's already talked about. So this is not a brand new idea. There's successful businesses at other places.
Excuse me, Phil, but, and how has it fared, like in Chicago? How is it doing in Chicago?
Well, I can't say that.
And what ages do they allow children to? play the games.
I can speak on that if you'd like.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a few in Chicago. One that is very similar to what I'm talking about. They fare very well. They basically, all they have though is smaller screens, and it's a lot of screens. They have a lot of monitors instead of TVs. It's all, the system and the computer monitor is right there, and that's all they get to play. They don't have all the way back to Atari, but they have all the newer game systems, and it's used mainly for playing tournaments and such, but they also have the regular people that come in during the day and pay the hourly fees. There is no security other than the associates, the employees that are there, and the security system that's around the cameras and such. They allow anybody to come in and play. Again, they do the same thing as I was talking about with the waivers from the parents. I think the one that I went to was right near a grade school, so it was like right down the street from the grade school, and basically they would go to the grade school and get the parents to sign the waivers, and then they would actually have a small bus of some sort that would drive the kids back and forth so they didn't have to cross any busy streets. They would have them for the few hours after school, and they would have a little discounted price for them if they, came in weekly. They would have a certain price for them, and good grades would give them a good free bus ride, that kind of a thing. So it was, they fared very well. eBash down in Terre Haute is actually opening up its third store in Indiana. I believe I can't remember, it's Charleston maybe, down in southern Indiana. They were opening up their third store, and they've been in business for about 15 years now. And that's actually where I got more of my financial numbers and such, was actually through these various places and where they're at, where they're located, what are they near, what's around them to do on a day-to-day basis for anybody, going to the movies, going to a mall. If there was a college near there, like Terre Haute has, ISU right there, that, that was something that fed into them a lot, because down there at eBash, they had a lot of the college students coming in because they couldn't have that stuff in their dorm room, or they just refused to have it in their dorm room because they were afraid of their dorm roommates that would steal their stuff or break their stuff or overplay their stuff, that they feared that they would just be better off going to a place like this to play it.
Any more questions, Commissioners? Discussion?
If there is a motion, we'd like the motion to be approval for the loan of $59,000 for Gamers Den, subject to legal review and review of the details of the lease.
So moved. Can I just say so moved? instead of
Yes,
just repeat
that's
what
fine.
you just said?
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Mr. Stern, I'd like to be able to visit this establishment when you're all done, and I'd like to be able to see one of those. I've never been in one of those.
You're more than welcome. All of you are more than
Yeah,
welcome.
and I hope
I think that would be a good idea.
I would like it to
Take
be a very
for us
positive thing.
To take a field trip.
Yeah, I just want,
Kids.
While you guys are going and looking at the new roads that they built, you guys can stop in and play some video games with me.
Right near where I live.
I just want to wish him luck. Any new business is a risk, but,
Right.
like you said, I don't think we have anything like this, so it
I appreciate
might
it.
really work, and we wish you well, and like you said, we just want it to be a safe establishment for,
That's our main goal.
Right. Oh, of course.
Safety for our children.
And I actually plan on being there probably more than 40 hours a week to provide both security and an extra eye on the whole situation, at least until everything takes off and I can afford to have the extra security measures in place. But I've already planned all that out in very big details, because it's just a long process that I've gone through already.
Well,
Commissioners,
we'll
also-
stay in touch.
Sorry. I was just going to mention, we should have mentioned this earlier, obviously, as part of the program, he has to hire 2 full-time employees based on the amount of money that he's borrowing, and keep those positions open for 3 years. And these would be low to moderate income Hammond residents as well, just to have it in the records.
Did you say 2 or 4?
2,
Oh,
it's 1
full-time?
full-time employee for every $30,000 you borrow.
Okay.
So if you borrow $30,001, you have to hire 2 full-time employees, and that's a HUD regulation.
And it's also 2 part-timers also. It's either 1 full-time or 2 part-timers.
Correct. 2 part-timers would fit as 1 full-time, correct. You're all set?
Wonderful,
Thanks,
thank
Mike.
you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Did we get a motion on that?
We already did.
Got a second?
Oh, no, you already
You did?
Roll call, too.
I'm still in the business. I'm still there. Okay. All right, we did. Okay. Carry on. Number 11, approval of professional service agreement with United Neighborhood, Inc. for a new home construction project at 7027 Carolina Court.
Commissioners, I have a copy in front of me of a check dated 4/4 for in the amount of $206,609. This check was deposited actually today, and this was from the sale of the second home at Parish View.
All right.
So
Way to go.
both homes that were constructed have sold and have closed, so we're ready to move on. At one time, we talked about having 2 more homes constructed, but at this time, because we need financially, there's some other things that have to be looked at as well. We're just going to go forward with 1 new constructed home at Parish View, and that's what we have on the agenda today. And obviously, we have Alexius Barber here from United Neighborhoods, Inc., so we can have her come up just in case there's any questions.
And she's still smiling. Welcome, Alexis.
Good afternoon. Any questions?
Yeah, I had one. Is it going to be the same contractor?
Yes, Homes of Distinction. We've been working very well with Brandon Smith, and there seems to be a great interest in having him continue to build out there.
Yeah, the homes, yeah, they were nice, especially the other one he built up north on.
Lincoln Lake, that's a different project,
Right, but
similar
he built them,
concept. Yeah.
right.
Yes.
So
Doing a great job, Alexis.
Thank you.
I'd like to see him, not to say, go with the same contractor because he has done a really good job.
That seems to be the interest. And also the 2 owners of the home, they both were prior Hammond residents. And so what I like to have done, one of them works at Middle Steel. He was 24 years old. And he was a Army, he was in the military and came back to Hammond and made the investment. So probably at the next redevelopment meeting, we may have both those homeowners come out and address you guys as well.
Oh, that would be nice.
Commissioner Hopperts, you're correct, though. Every home that Homes of Distinction has constructed has sold. And so we have a 100% success rate with the contractor, and I believe even one of the homes at Parish View, we made a little bit of money. Obviously, it's nice to make money, but the goal is to have some homes built, bring new families in, offer bigger, better homes to somebody who's looking for a new home so they don't have to move out of Hammond to get a newly constructed home. So far, everything's gone really well, and we're excited to move on to the next one.
I think, yeah, it's an excellent price, too. I mean, you're getting a lot of home for your money.
I agree.
And that's the last one in Parish View at this time, right? We sell one, we're gonna, or no?
Well, there's a lot of lots left, but we at this time, we're going to go forward with one more, and depending how quickly it sells, which I would assume based on the history that it'll sell fairly quickly, once that sells, we'll at least go forward with another new one, but maybe 2 if we have the money at the time.
Sell one, build one. Good job.
And we also have quite a bit of interest with purchasing a lot and building their own home. So that's what we're really trying to promote. Our strategy is going towards that. Okay.
Very interesting. You guys wanna,
Madam President,
yes, Commissioner?
I'd like to make a motion for the approval of professional service agreement with United Neighborhoods, Inc. for a new home construction project at 7027 Carolina Court.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes. All commissioners are present.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work, Alexis. Okay. Number 12, acceptance of bids for the sale of real estate located at 649 and 651 Fountain Street.
Commissioners, as you recall, we approved putting out a request for proposals to see if there was interest in a company that's interested in purchasing 649 and 651 Conkey. 649 Conkey obviously should be familiar since that is where planning and development is currently located. Obviously, we have some thoughts and ideas of where planning and development will move in the future. We own a couple buildings in downtown Hammond that are ready and, just a matter of time before potentially that happens. But through the RFP process, we have Nicole Bennett who will open up the one submission that we received.
She have some? We're inquiring about scissors.
Scissors, we need scissors. I might be able to use mine.
I have a paper clip. Let's see what that can do.
What do you need, Karen?
I'm searching for scissors. If you have any in your pocket, please.
Please come forward.
Yes.
Nope, this is okay. I got it open. Yeah, I did. That's okay. It is.
The attorney's desk is open.
We do have a bid from Root Brothers Manufacturing Supply Company located in Chicago, Illinois.
Was that Root? R-O-O-T?
Root, R-O-O-T, that's correct.
Okay. I think you got it.
Here we go.
And where are they out of?
They are located specifically at 10307-25 South Michigan Avenue, Chicago. And it appears, we have a very colorful, detailed proposal here. It appears that they are proposing or have set aside a fund of $1.2 million for the updating, renovating, and equipping of this facility. With that, I would refer this to staff for review of the complete proposal for recommendation to the commission. Yes.
So we need a motion to refer to staff for review.
I make a motion to refer to staff.
I second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes. All commissioners present. Okay. Number 13, loan agreement between Hammond Redevelopment Commission and Urban Enterprise Association for construction of Lincoln Lake Home.
Commissioners, as we have done 3 times in the past, we have partnered with the Urban Enterprise Association through this promissory note to help construct a home at Lincoln Lake. At this time, all the homes are sold, so we're ready to start construction on the next lot, which is very similar to the Parish View project. And obviously, we pay the Urban Enterprise Association back once we sell the home.
Any questions, commissioners? Bill has lots of answers. Discussion?
Madam President?
Yes, Commissioner.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion on that, for loan agreement between Hammond Redevelopment Commission and the Urban Enterprise Association for construction of the Lincoln Lake home.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes. All commissioners present.
Yes.
What? Listen. Okay. Number 14. Mr. Taylor, can you, got anything exciting for us?
Well, just bring you up to speed on a couple projects. We met with the BW3's engineering group, Brian Poland and myself, this past Friday. They are 90% done with their site plan. I believe they want to start construction at Oxbow Landing sometime in May, if all the approvals have gone forward and everything is in order. So it's looking very good. Also, we received an email just recently on the project in Robertsdale, the development around the Walmart. This is a project we approved a while back. We are helping with some of the cost of the traffic relocation on Indianapolis Boulevard to help with the ingress egress of that site, especially with more businesses that are going to be constructed there. There's going to be a lot more traffic, and they need a better way of getting into the development. The email said that they are very close to being able to start as well. So hopefully in the next 30 to 60 days, or 30, 60, 90 days, let's say, we'll see some movement on that project as well. They definitely have some businesses that have that are ready to start construction at that site. They've been very secretive, obviously, because they don't want any neighboring communities to swoop in last second, but they said that they're not having issues with finding businesses that want to locate there, so that's a good sign. I believe that's all I have for now, but I'll be happy to take any questions that you might have.
There was a rumor going around.
Okay, let's hear it.
A dollar store that is in the city of town of Munster, Staples, they were going to move to Sheffield Street. Have you heard anything about it?
I have not. I believe the dollar store in Munster is called Dollar Junction.
Yeah, I think that's it, too, yeah.
And at this point, we have not been approached by anybody from that company. Obviously, we are reviewing plans for a Dollar Tree. I think we already had that approved here. That's on 165th Street, but I have not been approached, or our department, as far as I know, has not been approached by Dollar Junction.
Rumors just fly.
Usually there's maybe a little bit of truth in something like that, but so far, I cannot say that I've spoken to them.
Any more questions for Phil? Okay. Owana's not with us today, so we'll talk to her next meeting, number 15. Pay some bills.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
I'd like to make a motion to pay the register of claims for March 27th through April 10th. Register claim number R50226 through R50298.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes. All commissioners are present. Number 16, new and unfinished business.
Commissioners, I handed out to all the commissioners a document that at the top is an agreement from NSP Consultants LLC. I'd like to ask Mark McLaughlin to come forward, and he'll talk to you a little bit about this grant application.
Welcome, Mark.
Hi, Commissioners. The Indiana Housing Authority, ICTA, I'm sure Indiana Community Housing Authority, Housing Development Authority, had leftover stimulus funds, $220 million. They were originally going to lower interest rates and help people out of foreclosure, but never did that. So they came up with a new program. They said, we'll help tear down blighted homes. And they allocated $16 million to Lake and Marion County together, and the rest goes throughout the state. They just finished the specs about a month ago. And if we don't apply, we cannot expect to receive any of this money. It's what I was hoping he would do was enter a contract with a company called NSP. So Joe Alamillo, I think everybody kind of knows Joe. He's working with our city attorney and our code building department and code enforcement to identify. He's identified 30 properties to submit. It would be $7,500 to complete the application. And there are really two issues. So one is entering a contract with NSP to complete this application, submit it to ICTA, and hopefully get a portion of the $16 million in Hammond. I went to the informational meeting last week. Gary Hammond, or East Chicago, and Gary also had representatives there. So we know they'll apply. Our fear is that Marion County is trying to apply for the entire $16 million. So what we hope to do is get some money to tear down. They allocate about $25,000 per home for acquisition and demolition. So we hope to do somewhere between be awarded funding for 20 to 30 homes. But we really don't have the staff, the expertise to it's a very, very detailed application with scoring systems, and we know we're going to have to dot every I, cross every T, because it's going to Indianapolis. It's one issue. And the other issue is I hope that the commission will be a sponsor of this grant application to ICTA along with the city of Hammond. I think it would strengthen our application. Did I miss anything, Nicole, Phil?
No, I think you nailed it. Obviously, the commission should be familiar with NSP LLC. We work with them on our neighborhood stabilization program with Dennis Radowski. I think he would give them a very favorable recommendation if you asked him to. And then NSP LLC also works with United Neighborhoods, Inc. in identifying properties. So I think it's a great project.
And United Neighborhoods, Inc. would also be a co-applicant, we feel, in this project.
I'm kind of familiar with this money, that it's there, and he's right, we need part of that money, and pray Marion County doesn't kick us to the curb again.
But we know this, if we don't apply, we won't get anything. So what we'd be looking for today is a motion to approve this contract you have in front of you with NSP LLC, and also to sign a resolution saying we are one of the joint applicants in this venture.
Any questions, Commissioners? Discussion?
I just had one, like you said, we have to try and move forward to get some of the money, but do you have any idea how, I know it's hard to project, you know, how much we could possibly get, or?
If we are totally successful, we would, and we hope to submit 30. That would be about,
I just did the math, about
$750,000. But it's all a scoring. You have to have 80 points to even qualify. And it's our scoring system shows all 30 get 80 points, but if Indianapolis submits 1,000 homes that score 95 points, we might not get any. So we hope to get, if we get 20, which would be $500,000, we'd be really happy. It's 20 demolitions, and we get 2 years of maintenance also built into that then we can use our demolition money for other projects, other demolitions.
That money would certainly help Hammond and look a lot better.
Yeah, and as they put together the specs for this, they've asked that we cluster the homes so that we have a bigger impact. So these are all generally in the second and third districts of Hammond. So there would be 20 homes come down all at once that are kind of in one large neighborhood. So there would be a noticeable impact.
That would be a great thing in so many ways for so many reasons, that if we could do that.
As I stated, we'd be looking for, we would like a motion to approve the contract with NSP LLC for this application, for this blight elimination program, and then a separate motion to sign a resolution as one of the applicants for this program.
So moved.
Okay?
Second.
We need to do this two separate resolutions. Let's start the one with the NSP contract.
Right.
Yes, there's,
Right.
Yes.
So I'll make a motion to, let's see, sign the resolution and be co-applicants to the NSP LLC.
It'd be a co-applicant with the city
With the city. Okay.
for the blight elimination program.
So moved.
so moved, she said. Okay,
If you don't mind.
get a second on that?
I'll second that then.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes. All commissioners present.
First item.
Then it'd be a motion for this.
And that would be to approve the contract with NSP for their services in preparing the application.
I'd like to make a motion to approve an agreement with NSP Consultants LLC to prepare application for the blighted, what is it, the blight elimination program with the city of Hammond. Is that sufficient?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. All commissioners present,
Thank you, commissioners.
and they voted yes. That's a good one.
I know, I don't do short.
Like that.
We do. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a few. No, you don't have to sign this. No. And you're gonna sign
Okay.
this on behalf of redevelopment.
Well, we're gonna get lost at. I can't, okay, here it is. Number 17, public comments. 3 minutes, please. The public does not want to make any comments, I don't think. Okay. And before we go, I'd like to recognize the lovely Councilwoman, Janet Inez. Welcome, thank you for being here. And, seeing no one else, number 18.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
let me make a motion to adjourn.
All right, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.